What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another edition of Dangle Bet Selly, powered by FTN Bets. Lines provided by PointsBet Canada, right here on Game Plus Network. Also live on our FTN Network YouTube page. Chris Meaney and Eric Young hanging out with you. If you thought Tuesday was busy with 12 games, well, we got one more for you. 13 games on the schedule today. Have some people hanging out in the chat. We do appreciate you. Troy and Nork in the house. Got some questions already. And the artists. What's up, family? Been a long time. We've missed you. We've missed you, dude. Welcome in, as the calendar now is flipped or has been flipped to November. And we got busy nights in the NHL on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. As always, Dustin, good morning. Good morning, everybody. EY, what is up? Rocking the Wild. Kaprizov. Yep. I was thinking last night that, this Wild team kind of like hit or miss so far to start the season. Looks like Fleury's turned the corner a little bit, but I could see Kaprizov. I could see him winning MVP, winning Hart. I know everyone's going to look to Matthews and look to McDavid, and McDavid is on a ridiculous run to start the season.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know.
No one's catching him. Not now.
Kaprizov, though, I could see him potentially leading the league in goals, and maybe
he took over that game on Tuesday. He just took it over.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a lot of games to get to, and we do want to get through them all. But Troy's in the house here early. Let's answer the question here first. So he says he's in an 8-team league, and Letang, Kuznetsov were dropped. Should I pick any of them up? I feel like legally obligated to acquire Letang. Yeah, 8-team leagues are tough because there's going to be a lot of good players on the waiver wire. You're going to have to make tough decisions. I wouldn't pick up Kuznetsov. I'm never a big Kuznetsov guy. I think he's a good real life player, but he's more of a pass first guy. He's not going to get 30 goals. This is like 20-ish. Capitals are just meh right now. But I guess it depends on your defenseman. I'd say I don't know the rest of your team there, but I could see Letang. I mean, Letang was a top 5 fantasy hockey defenseman last year, EY. I mean, in leagues with hits and blocks and shots, he's going to provide just about everything for you.
And I'm sure he was dropped because Pittsburgh is just on a brutal slide. They started so well. And you're like, Pittsburgh Penguins, still the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's what we were saying 2 weeks ago. And I think they've lost 7 straight now. That's I don't know what's going on there. But they had
not only have they lost 7 straight, they've lost them in just crazy fashion. Yep. Last night, they were up 3-1 heading into the third.
Yep.
And then the other night against the Bruins, they're up 4 goals.
Yeah.
They give up 4 goals. And then to start the road trip last week, they had a period against the Oilers where they were up 3-1 or 4-1 or something like that. And Edmonton outshot them by 25 in the second and scored 4 goals. They seem to have massive problems at the moment protecting leads and keeping a puck out of their net. But I like Letang. I think Letang's fine. Troy's a pretty good pickup. And the artist, Cole Caulfield, will lead the league in goals. I'm here for it. I put a little sprinkle in the bet tracker, am the artist, at 80-1 for Cole Caulfield to lead the goals. Now, I don't lead the NHL in goals. Lead the goals. I don't think he's going to lead the NHL in goals. But this kid is playing with a ton of confidence. He's shooting the puck a lot. Let's just get into it. Habs and Jets tonight in Winnipeg. Montreal, massive underdogs here. And honestly, I don't feel like they should be plus 175, plus 180. I don't think the Jets are this good to get this kind of respect at home, whatever. It looks like Montembeault is going to start between the pipes for the Habs. He's actually played pretty good. I think I said last week when Montreal was playing Buffalo that I was in on the Habs unless it was Montembeault. And it was Montembeault. I'd already made the bet on the Habs, and he played fantastic in Buffalo, and they ended up winning that game. I think he's an average goalie at best. Kyle Connor's on this board. Kyle Connor's on the sheet on the thumbnail. George dropped in the green room before the show started and said he had jinxed Kyle Connor. You hadn't been able to take Kyle. It feels like the Jets are never playing when we do these shows. I assume you're in on a Kyle Connor goal tonight. Troy says, who are your favorite buy low candidates? It has to be Kyle Connor atop the list for me, one of the biggest buy low candidates in the game. Do you agree? I assume you agree.
Yeah, for sure. I will be betting on Kyle Connor to score. DraftKings has got him at negative 110, which, he hasn't really done a whole lot this year, and I don't know where they're getting that from. Maybe they listen to the show and know that this is a Kyle Connor show. we're talking, Montreal, like Suzuki and Caulfield together is just this match made in heaven, and they are going to torture defenses for years. I mean, just years. Love watching those two kids play together. Literally, if you were to take two hockey players and create them for each other, it would be those two guys. You would I think, Suzuki to have a little more size, but the NHL is certainly changing. He's got, good skater, good vision, and Caulfield, I've said this a million times on the show. The difference at the NHL level is confidence. And, all of these guys can skate, all of them can shoot. All of them, have the best training and the best off seasons and the best everything. Like they're all freaks. What makes the difference is the will and confidence. And Caulfield's got both right now. It's so cool to see. St. Louis goes over, never really coached, at any real competitive level, anyways, and then steps in to be a coach in the NHL and has got this team really rolling. I mean, you're a Habs guy. And you could be honest, this team is not loaded with talent.
No, they're not loaded with talent. They're playing good. They're playing competitive.
I made fun of the defense core, and they're making me look stupid, but I made fun of them. I was like, I don't know who 4 of the 6 players are. And if I don't know who you are, that means that you don't exist.
Well, I'll tell you what, Caden Gooley looks like he is going to be a player in this league. He looks like he's a defenseman who has been in the league for about 10 years already. He's got a long reach. He's big body. He can skate. He's got offensive and defensive instincts as well. I don't think he's going to be a flashy fantasy hockey asset or a guy that's going to, blow you away with 50-plus point seasons, but he does have a little bit of offensive upside to his game. And you know what? They're missing their 2 best defensemen in Matheson, who they acquired from Pittsburgh in the Petrie deal, and Joel Edmondson, who's skating now and could be back pretty soon. But Wi-Fi Arbor Jackeye looks not bad for a guy that wasn't drafted in the OHL, wasn't drafted in the NHL, was working at Costco, was fired, just trying to play junior B hockey, and here he is in the NHL. And he's doing some okay things. But man, Caulfield and Suzuki are phenomenal. Last game when they played the Wild, every time they were on the ice, they were just pinned in Minnesota's zone, running around, behind the back passes. The chemistry that these two players have together is phenomenal. And Caulfield just continues to shoot the puck, and he should. Why wouldn't you? If you have a release like that, it's in his nature to shoot the puck. He's, again, 2.5 minus 155 for 3 shots. He's a little bit juiced here today, but I don't know. I would take that. Am the artist, chuck it into a parlay. Guys are asking about Kyle Connor. Don't know one, but Cole, listen, Caulfield is 66-1 over at BetMGM to lead the NHL in goals. Is this going to happen? No, probably not. Last week, he was 80-1, which we put in the bet trackers. So it's just a number that continues to go in the other direction. For example, Bet Rivers and Unibet has him at 15-1. DK has him at 40. You're not going to get 66-1. We're not saying to put the house on it. Chuck your pizza or your coffee money on it. Who knows? I mean, the kid is continuing to shoot and he's playing a lot. So Caulfield's, I got Caulfield scored tonight, but he's also interesting at plus 192 for an assist. You called Kirby Doc on Tuesday and you were pretty close. I don't know how much of that game you watched, but he looked really good alongside those two. And I think he's going to stick for a little bit. Yeah.
It looks like he's going to stick. There was I did watch, bits and pieces. I was kind of flipping around at that point because there were so many games, but I saw it was a shift and they were in the offensive zone, like nothing, they didn't score, but they just were like moving and cycling the puck. It looked like they've been playing together for 15 years. It looked really good. I think, having a little bit of a bigger body on the wing with them, I thought maybe Anderson would maybe be that guy, but I think Doc is maybe offensively, there's more upside, I think, than Josh Anderson. I like Josh Anderson. But yeah, I love that line. I've got Kyle Connor, Perfetti, Caulfield, and Brandon Gallagher to score in this game.
Gallagher's looked pretty good lately too. Yeah, you can get plus 132 for Kyle Connor over at FanDuel. That's pretty good. Nice. I'll jump on that.
That's really good.
Yeah, we're getting plus money for a guy. Listen,
that's why the reason I think he's
exactly. Yeah, the bet tracker prop shop. It's his Google search.
I'm seeing DraftKings. It's at negative 110. One click of the button.
Oh yeah,
through that tool.
All the books. BetMGM, Rivers, Unibet, DK minus 110. FanDuel plus 132. So again, plus there. He does lead the Jets in shot attempts with 56, shots with 33. There's no surprise. He has 1 goal. Troy, the reason we feel like he's a good buy low candidate is because he's got 1 goal here in 9 games. He's shooting 3%. 3%. This is a guy who shot 15% for his career every year. Second year in the league, 16. Year 3, 15. Year 4, 15.9. Year 15.7. Last year, 14.8. And 47 goals last year. He's a 4-time 30-goal scorer, and he scored 26 in 56 in the shortened season when the NHL went on pause. So Kyle Connor's a good bet to bounce back and break out here very soon. Am the Artist definitely taking Cole's shots. Kyle in the house. Miss you guys. Edmonton tonight, boys. Good. $4. It should be a really good game. We'll break that one down in just a couple minutes. Maybe we'll go to it right now. We'll jump all over the place here a little bit. I think we're good for the Habs, right? I will take a shot on the Habs tonight at plus 180. As I said, I don't think the Jets are that good to get that kind of respect. They're definitely going to have the edge in goal. And the Habs have been playing pretty well, competing. I thought they played pretty good in Minnesota. Kyle says didn't mean 4, but we can chuck $4 on that one. Why not? Oilers, Devils should be a good one. Plus 180, maybe 0.5 units on it. Just to wrap up, Caulfield, I do like Connor as well at 3.5 shots. It's even money. And if you were looking for another one, this one's just for George. I don't know if he's watching, but you know it's coming, right?
PLD, baby.
Yeah, PLD, baby. Pierre-Luc Dubois is he's too juiced. He's too juiced, George. The days we used to get Pierre-Luc Dubois at even money or plus money, he's minus 160 for 3 shots, but he has been shooting. He's right there with Kyle Connor in terms of shot attempts. He just has 3 fewer than Kyle Connor. So something to keep an eye on. Anyways, let's see what he's done over the past couple games. He didn't clear in the last game, but he had cleared in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before that one. He was on 4 a little bit. Gallagher has been shooting, Dustin, and Gallagher's usually a guy to consider, to be honest, because he comes in the entry zone and all he does is just put pucks on net. Like from the corner, he shoots everywhere he shoots the puck. So he is definitely somebody to consider. He's had at least 3 shots in 3 straight games and 4 of his last 5, but he only played 12 minutes and he doesn't get a ton of power play time. And the Habs have been rolling through 4 lines. And then when the games have been close, he's kind of double shifting there. Kyle, that's so nice of you, man. Thanks for all the good content. You guys rock. A little $10 gift there. Wow. Congrats, man, on going to the game tonight. Is that what you're doing? You're going to the game tonight, potentially. But we do appreciate the love and the support on the show. Let's get into the Oilers. Kyle's here. We're all excited about Edmonton. New Jersey continues to light the world on fire, right?
Dude, they look awesome.
Tuesday, they lead the NHL in shot attempts, Corsi for shot attempts, shots on goal, high danger chances, scoring chances, expected goals for. Jack Hughes is on the left. Breakout season is absolutely here. And then what we have from this duo in Edmonton when it comes to McDavid and Draisaitl is absolutely phenomenal. What do you make of this game tonight? The total's at 7. I got it late last night, 6.5. A little bit of juice in the bet tracker at minus 128 at FanDuel, 6.5. There's no 6.5s left now. It's all 7s and they're all plus money, but I wouldn't be shocked if we saw 7 or 8 goals tonight.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, they two fun teams. I mean, Connor McDavid looks like an absolute mutant, like almost to the point, like he just looks unstoppable at this point. Obviously, it's not great odds betting on him to score, but I like Evander Kane. I mean, this dude has always had a knack for shooting the puck and being in the spot. Him moving to Edmonton is probably the best move for him. We haven't heard any rumblings of him being a knucklehead or anything like that. He looks
great as an Oiler.
He looks great. He's competitive, big body, mixes it up, doesn't, pushes back. He's a great hockey player. I'm gonna definitely take him to score tonight. Nico Hischier is having an unbelievable statistical year. I know a lot of people want to talk about Hughes and talk about Bratt, and Nico Hischier is kind of the forgotten guy here, and he scored a ton already this year. I bet on him to score. I think last week he scored. I'm going to bet on him to score it again here, and I like Zach Hyman as well.
Yeah, I do as well. I'm just doing some quick math here, guys, and this is going to blow your mind. Do you know that like McDavid and Draisaitl have 43 points combined in 10 games? 43 points in 10 games.
That's insane.
There are rosters in the NHL that you could take the top 8 players on a roster, top 8 scorers on a team, probably the Habs, the Flames, and they don't have 43 points combined. 43 points.
Nashville certainly doesn't.
43 points. Okay, like 21. I had like quick math here. 21 divided by 10, 2.1 times that by 82. These numbers are just going to blow your mind. So Connor McDavid is on pace for, do you want to guess how many points he's on pace to score this season?
I think at this point it's probably over 200.
It's 180.
180.
And
I mean,
Draisaitl's on pace for 172. Sure. But these guys are on pace for like 350 points. It's like we're combined. It's ridiculous, man. It is insane. Do you think the Devils win? They're like plus 135 tonight. Take a shot on them?
I mean, look, I put money on the Devils to play for the Stanley Cup this year. I liked them last year, and this may be the most improved team in the NHL from who they were last year and how they played and all of it. You know, like they're just, I think they're surprising the hell out of the NHL. They're surprising me with how well they're playing. Tuesday, I can't remember who they played, but they smashed them. I mean, they just, I watched
it's Vancouver. They didn't even start the game off right. They kind of like were just, they had one shot in the first 10 minutes and then they just took over.
They took over. They completely dominated. Vancouver's in a bad place. We know that. That's not a secret. There's something definitely going on there, which I thought, was going to be the opposite. I mean, Boudreau came in. There was a real belief at some point during, midway through the season that Boudreau was going to coach this team back into the playoff race. And it almost happened. Yeah. And now they're just an absolute disaster. Stars aren't playing well. The players that need to be producing every night aren't. And New Jersey, went in there and just manhandled them. Absolutely manhandled them. I love this New Jersey team, and the unsung hero, again, like he always is Dougie Hamilton. Just in a rocking chair, gliding around, like just distributing the puck. He's so good. He's such a good hockey player. It makes me sick to my stomach. I played last night, so that's when I realized how good these are for, a cool 11:30 p.m. puck drop last night, and I am terrible at hockey. Oh man, I suck.
I had a hockey game last night too. It went pretty well. We had a lot of fun last night.
I had a blast. And I love it, and I won't stop playing. But man,
good for you. You shouldn't. Wish the Bees kept Hamilton. Kyle says, yeah, he says he's gonna watch the game from Boston. We'll get to the Boston game in a little bit. I mean, they're red hot. Nine wins in their first 10. There's a lot to like from this game, clearly.
Yep.
Right. There's so much offensive firepower on both sides. Daily Handle says, EY, we should bet the Devils to win the cup. Now, this was a long shot bet that he made. He already did it. So I have to kind of eat my words a little bit. I wasn't even sure if they'd be a playoff team. I still have questions about their goaltending, but at 40-1 over at PointsBet, it's a pretty good long shot pick. The thing is, like, they don't have the goaltending. They just don't. I don't know. Is Vitek Vanacek good enough and Blackwood good enough to really go on a run? I
don't know. I don't think we've ever seen any of them play enough to know. I mean, and that's the truth. And like I was reading a thing yesterday, I think on The Athletic, that they're suppressing so many shots. I mean, like Blackwood's getting 14. I mean, any NHL goalie can win a game when he has 16 shots on him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, any goalie that plays in the NHL.
I don't want to take too much credit away from them. Tonight is going to be a big test. They did play the Avs last week, and they hung around with the Avs, and the Avs were shorthanded, but they have played a lot of mediocre squads. But this is a good test for them, right? They're on the West Coast here, Edmonton. I haven't looked at the schedule. I assume they got Calgary here next. So tonight will be a good test. But we've been going to certain guys here over the past little bit on both sides. Hyman and Nugent Hopkins have been big-time players for me. I've been putting in same-game point parlays with these guys, playing with McDavid. These guys are getting assists. Tonight, for example, They're both plus money for an assist. Hyman's plus 155. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins plus 105. Hyman is minus 147 for a point. Hughes is 165 for a point. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is 170 for a point. Now, all of that is juiced. But if you're playing on, if you're book Bet365, we've been doing this. We've had some fun. We've hit some long shots. Same game parlay tonight. I'd be thinking Hughes point, Bratt point, Hamilton point. I mean, Draisaitl and McDavid, these guys for 2 points. And then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You could do not Hopkins. You just get nuts. You can get a little bit too nuts there, of course. But all these guys, like the other night, they all hit the score sheet, EY. Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, Draisaitl, McDavid had 2 each, and Kane. That was all 5 of those guys. It kind of correlates well. They play together 5 and 5. They have some power play time together. And then the other side, Jesper Bratt has a point in every game. He has an assist in every game but one, and he's plus 100 for an assist tonight. We have a goal total of 7. So there's a lot that you could do here. Did you call any goals from this game?
Yeah. I said Kane, Hyman, Hischier, and I think I'd probably put a little bit on Sharangovich. He looked really good. He was skating and shooting like crazy in that game against Vancouver.
Yeah, I'll go with Kane, and he's plus 255. Yeah, he's a good, nice little long shot. I'll go with Hughes, Kane, and I like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So Hyman's 3.5 shots. He's 2.5 is juice, but he's 3.5. He's just been shooting a lot, right? And McDavid just gets him the puck, and he's kind of like Gallagher. He shoots from everywhere, down low in the corners and things like that. He just likes to put pucks towards the goal. So we like players like that. I think the Oilers win. I don't mind taking Edmonton at like minus 155. This should be a really fun game here. I do think that we'll see 7 goals. And yeah, I'd say Hyman and Jack Hughes are probably my favorite shot props from this game, but they're both at 3.5. But, you can get some guys like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins plus 145 if you want to take a shot there. Jesper Bratt's basically even money for 2.5. He didn't have any shots in the last game, but he's been hitting pretty consistently. But guys, have some fun with this. I'm definitely going to have a couple same game parlays with some points for some of these guys. Like maybe just Hughes, Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Bratt, Kane, and then I probably will take the 2 studs in Edmonton who are on pace for like 350 points combined. All right, that's fun. Devils are 40-1. Win the cup. I don't know. Decent long shot for sure. Okay, next game. Let's continue going through here. Bradford and Apple. Adam says, yeah, plus 100. I'm surprised that we're getting plus 100 because he has an assist in every game but one. We have a goal total of 7 tonight. I'm really shocked about that. Okay, let's continue to move on here. Let's go Islanders in St. Louis. So we have
20 minutes. We've done 2 games.
They're really exciting games. So
you're right.
Yeah. We'll rapid fire through a couple of these ones. Kyle, smash that like button. We love it. We got a lot of people hanging out with us, so we do appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll have some fun here. We'll roll through some of these games. All right, Islanders and Blues. St. Louis at home, minus 120 for St. Louis, total of 6. The Blues are 3-5. They're 1-3 at home. They've lost every game. They've lost a bunch of games here in a row, and they've lost them like pretty easily. Like this is a team that's allowing a lot of goals here. They're not getting the goaltending. Let me see. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. They've given up 12 goals in their last 2 games. And they've given up 18 goals in their last 3 EOI. The Islanders are not a big powerhouse offensively, but they're checking in as dogs at plus 100. And Brock Nelson and Anders Lee continue to play really good hockey. And I don't know. Brock is in play for me for shots. I'll tell you that. That's one guy I'm taking a look at.
Yeah, and I mean for the Islanders, I love Lee. He had great season last year. The net front guy on a power play, and they shoot from the point a lot, which is why I really like Lee playing on the power play there and standing in front of the net. Scored last game. He's at plus 205. I like him to score. Vladimir Tarasenko is, if someone's going to score in St. Louis, and like some of these young guys, like Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou, they had these kind of breakout seasons last year, and they're just lost in the shuffle right now. It's really weird. Like, 2 really good players, 2 players that seem to really get their confidence last year. They're playing extended minutes. This team is counting on them to do something, and both of them are just, coming up empty game in and game out. It's really weird. I've got Jordan Kyrou and a bunch of my fantasy teams, and man, I'm getting close to moving on. I sat him last week, and of course he scored finally. Usually that's what it takes. I'll be like, I'll sit him and I'll play someone over him, and then he scores. So maybe I fixed him, everyone. So maybe you can keep Jordan Kyrou. But yeah, I like Tarasenko, Lee to score. I think Barzal at plus 275. We've talked about him before. Like he's such a good player, but it just doesn't seem to be consistent enough. The favorite thing for me is just watching him carry the puck and skate. Like he's an elite skater, and anybody like that where I'm going to get odds at 275. He hasn't done much, but I believe if someone's going to be scored, it's going to be him or Lee.
Yeah, he's going to score at some point, right? He's got 10 assists, I think, on the season. He's starting to shoot the puck a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to go back to these. Like it's Lee and Brock for me. Brock is plus 100 for 2.5 shots. He's hitting 4 straight in 6 of his last 7. He's got goals in 3 straight. And then Anders Lee has also cleared in 5 of his last 6 games. 6 shots in his last contest. He's not going to have a ton of ice time. Under 15 minutes in 3 straight games. But those two guys actually correlate pretty well. Adam says he likes Lee and he likes Nelson. Lee plus 140 for over 2.5 on BetRivers. Barstool prices off the market. Yeah, I see plus 140 over at BetRivers and Unibet for our prop shop, plus money actually everywhere. So I think both of those guys are in play as well. On the St. Louis side of things, Tarasenko and Kyrou are kind of the shooters on the team, right? Those are the guys you look for to shoot the puck and maybe put the puck in the back of the net. Is Kyrou still a play, or is Vlad a better pick for shots? Yeah, that's a pretty good question. Let me just take a look at the shot attempts here. I think that Tarasenko is the guy, but you're probably gonna get a better price for Kyrou. Let me just double check for you guys. Tarasenko's minus 135. Actually, it's not bad over at DraftKings. And Jordan Kyrou, he had changed a little bit. He's minus 143. So you're actually getting the better price on Tarasenko. As for the Islanders, it's Noah Dobson who leads the team in shot attempts with 63. Brock Nelson is next with 47, but Nelson does lead the team in shots. That's all strengths. And for St. Louis, just want to double check here on some shot attempt stuff for you guys. Justin says Riley is always nice for plus money. He is. Yeah, he gets into these grooves where sometimes he's shooting a lot and other times he's not shooting. I still view him as a pass first guy, but he is a guy that I would expect to, you can laugh at this and narrative all you want, but the Blues have lost a lot of games in a row, and the guy's the captain of the squad. And sometimes, it's the big players that need to step up in these moments and kind of turn things around. For O'Reilly, he did have 3 shots
in the chat. He brought it up, and I saw the comments. O'Reilly basically called himself out. And look, man, I'm the king of narrative street. I see a player like him in his position, the captain of the team, a guy that puts a lot on his shoulder, plays in all the important minutes, and he's saying, I've got to be better. Putting money on him to have a point tonight, I think is probably the smartest bet you're going to make.
My one fear is that Sorokin is just so good. He's just such a good goalie but I could see 1 point. Kyrou's got 45 shot attempts and 26 shots at all strengths. He's played 154 minutes. Vladimir Tarasenko's played 145 minutes, 9 fewer minutes, and he's got 3 fewer shot attempts and just 3 fewer shots. I think that Tarasenko is the play, but neither guy is really my favorite here tonight on a 13-game slate there. I am the artist, but I'd say you could get behind. You could probably get away with playing both of these guys, but I'd say Tarasenko would be the one I'd take a look at. And Justin Falk is interesting too. Yeah, he didn't hit in his last game, but he still likes him 2.5 at plus money. He's just a fantasy hockey beast. He does absolutely everything. He blocks shots, he shoots. He does a lot more than Torrey Krug. Like Torrey Krug may have a higher ceiling offensively, but Justin Falk is a guy that just, man, he really does absolutely everything. Yes, 3.663 in his last few games. So he's a candidate if you're looking for some plus money plays. Who wins tonight? Blues snap out of it?
I think so. I think the Blues snap out of it here. The Islanders have been just not trustworthy. I don't know, man. They're a bit of a mess,
Yeah, both teams are kind of.
Right.
I think, again, same game parlay. Brock and Lee, they correlate. I've been doing the Nugent Hopkins and Hyman point parlays. I think these guys too, like a Brock and a Lee point parlay. I think that correlates pretty well, and you can have some fun with that one. Kraken and Minnesota Wild. Seattle 5-4-2 on the season, and 3-1-1 on the road. And when we have the Minnesota Wild, we're starting to play a little bit better lately. They opened up at minus 193. They're now minus 178. So a little bit of cash coming in. I think on the old Kraken, they played pretty good the other night against Calgary. Calgary was up 4-2. Seattle came back in that game and found a way to win it. What do you like from this matchup here? Are you on the Kraken? Do you think Kaprizov's going to roll? I mean, you're rocking the jersey.
Yeah, I like the way the Minnesota Wild have been playing. Like I said, like that game Tuesday. Kaprizov just took it over, and there's, maybe a handful of players that can really do that in the NHL, just kind of like every single time he comes over the boards, something is happening and the puck is on his stick. And when the puck is on a player's like that stick, those teams dominate. And Kaprizov is playing with some crazy confidence right now. You love to see it. This jersey's sweet, so I'm betting on him to score. He's plus 115 still. So like if I get positive odds on guys like him or McDavid or Ovechkin, guys that score all the time, I'm hitting it for sure. I like Matt Boldy. I think Hartman is injured. I'm not sure. I think I read that.
Yeah, I think he's going to miss a little bit of time. Yeah,
Matt Boldy will be playing some more important minutes. He's proven last year and this year too is a shooter, is a real shooter. So I like Matt Boldy there. A guy that has been having a sneaky good season and hasn't really produced in the last couple of games is Jaden Schwartz. He's plus 300. That's gonna be one of my big bets just because of the odds and because of the player. Like he's a top line center. Playing in the top power play, is a really good player. Was a really good player in St. Louis. He's been hurt a lot for Seattle, and Seattle has not been good. But the Seattle looks like a pretty scrappy team. I like watching these guys play. So I'm going to go Schwartz, and I'm also going to go bet Matty Beniers at plus 285 to score as well.
Yeah, the Kraken are. They're pretty stingy, 5-5. It's they were last year as well. But they're in the bottom 5 in terms of allowing shot attempts. They don't allow a lot of shots either. Also in the bottom 5, they're pretty stingy at 5-5. But Kaprizov, you're getting plus money for a guy who's got 8 goals already on the season. He scored 2 the other night against the Canadiens. He's got goals in. He's basically scored in every single game. 1, 2, 3 goals in the last. There's been 3 games in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 games where he hasn't scored a goal. There's one player to keep an eye on. We had him. Shout out to Kenneth Lee, and over at FTN we had the second line in Minnesota where Joel Eriksson Ek moved up to that second line with the absence of Ryan Hartman, who was placed on IR, and then we had Shaw. We had Shaw for hit the score sheet. Now I'm not seeing anything at all for him actually. It's too bad. I'd like to see maybe a long shot for Mason Shaw. So he's played his last 4 games, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 14, and 16. He's got goals in back-to-back games. Can we get a Mason Shaw anytime goal here tonight? Can we get nuts here with Mason Shaw?
You're speaking my love language, buddy.
He's plus 470. Kirby Doc may be a better shot, but Mason Shaw, everybody. You're playing some DFS. He was 2-5 the other night. This isn't the best matchup, right? Because we just talked about the Kraken 5-5. But have Mason Shaw on your radar. He's 0% owned in Yahoo leagues. So don't tell me why you already have this guy. Don't tell me.
I do not have him. I did notice him in that last game, and I wasn't 100% sure who he was.
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling through DraftKings right now,
He's
and
not there.
They don't even have him.
The only place I'm seeing him
they got
right
Jamie
now
Lutsiak at plus 1,600 to score, but they don't have Shaw.
I see Mason Shaw plus 460 over at FanDuel. Yeah, he played with Bolding. You played with Joel Eriksson Ek. Joel Eriksson Ek's a guy that I like for a Shaw prop. You can go to Kaprizov all you want. Sometimes it's tough. He gets in these moments where he likes to shoot, and other times he likes to pass. But Eriksson Ek is a little bit juiced at minus 154. Excuse me, but I do like him to have a couple shots. Let's continue to move on here. Let's go to Calgary. Let's talk about your Preds. The Flames are at home minus 200 for the Calgary Flames. We have a total of 6.5. We have Nashville checking in at plus 164. Yeah, I don't know, man. What's going on? I guess they just lost to a better team in Edmonton, but UC Saros, is he a buy low candidate? Does you feel like this guy's going to turn it around? I have him in a couple leagues, and people are offering, deals, and I'm not going to just sell high a month into the season. I still think I think his upside is be a top 5 goalie still.
No, yeah, I'm not in panic mode. That's for sure. There's been 9 games, guys, 10 games, and it's crazy here how quickly this fan base in Nashville became insane, right? Just like hockey crazy. Like they lose a game and they're like, fire Hines and like get rid of Saros. He sucks. Call up Askarov from the Milwaukee. Dude, he's a 19-year-old kid. Like he's not ready to play in the NHL. UC Saros has proven to be one of the best goaltenders in the league. In no way or shape or form am I letting them off the hook. They have not played well. I mean, they just have looked completely uninspired. The forecheck is non-existent. The offensive pressure is non-existent. There's just, missed assignments all over the ice. The guys that need to be producing aren't producing. It's a mess. Nashville is a mess right now, and something's got to give. I think Hines is a good coach. I think that this can be a competitive team, but they've got to find a spark from somebody, and they're just not getting it. I'll say every game, I'll say this. Philip Forsberg got paid, and he's still playing like he wants to get paid again. He's all over the ice. It's just all effort all the time. Yossi, all effort all the time. But some of these other guys got to start pulling on the rope too. And it's been a really weird year. I thought that this team, they added some guys. They added Niederreiter, some size and some kind of spunk and he's kind of an experienced player. Yeah. It's been a weird year. And Saros, I think, for me, is the most alarming thing. He has not been good all year.
So do the Preds break out of it, or do we just continue to pick on them? I mean, minus 200 is a lot to ask for.
Yeah.
Minus 120 to win in 60 is, I guess it could be interesting. With the Flames, it's my old buddy Tyler Toffoli. Former Hab, just loves to shoot the puck, right? 3 shots in 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games. He's got at least 4 shots in 5 of those games. He had a goal and an assist in the last game. He's up to 4 goals here. He's actually getting dropped in leagues. Wow, minus 5% over the last 24 hours. I don't know. I still like Toffoli as a player. I mean, he's going to score 25 goals this season, and he's going to have over 200 shots. He's minus 133. The odds are starting to change on him. He was plus money a week and a half ago. We have Adam in the house, of course. Szymanski, Kadri, and Toffoli are just auto bets for me right now. Kyle says Calgary spot for sure regulation. Jason Prince is in the house. Madman EY, I hope you have a long list today. He does, sir. 13 games on the schedule. Meaney and Shot Prop King. Let's get it today. AM the artist, Tyler Toffoli shots. Okay, so we seem to be all on the same page here when it comes to Toffoli. Diehard MMA podcast in the house. What's going on, sir? Had such high hopes for the Preds this season. Yeah, I think we all did. It's still fairly early.
It's early.
I think that they are probably a playoff team. But yeah, I mean, even Vegas did. Vegas had them at like 96.5 points, where this time last year, we were wondering if they'd even sniff the playoffs, and they went on a bit of a stretch. Jason, you are 100% Meaney Shot Prop King, EY goal scorer beast. We appreciate you guys. You guys are fantastic. Toffoli. So I don't know. He's minus 128 for a point here. I mean, you're walking through all this stuff with Nashville and things happening here with Saros, and I don't know. I think I got to go with Toffoli. Could we get a Huberdeau breakout game? Like, I'm talking a 3-point night here. Can we get that from Jonathan Huberdeau?
I love Huberdeau, but he hasn't done a whole lot of anything.
He hasn't really done anything. Would you buy low on him still? I mean, Yahoo had him ranked as 11. He's the 331st ranked player in fantasy right now. He's got 1 goal, 4 points. He's minus 1, and he's got 14 shots on goal.
I think in a deeper league, I think I would probably buy low. And I think, if you can convince somebody to get Saros, I would do that too. Like, this team is not going to play this bad. I don't care what anybody says. John Hines is a very good coach. He showed it last year. He showed it at every level that he's coached at, except for the 1 year in New Jersey when he was playing with a team that was absolutely putrid. But I'm going to go. I mean, look at Forsberg is on that list of guys like Kaprizov and guys. If you're giving me plus odds, I'm betting on Forsberg to score, and he's been playing very, very well. He's just all over the puck. He's all over the ice, still shooting like crazy, and the offense flows through him and Yossi. And he's at plus 160 on DraftKings, so I like him to score. I'm like you. Kadri is playing the top line center, right? Playing top power play. He's the guy right now, which surprised me. I thought Lindholm would have a massive season, but it looks like Kadri has taken over that position. He's at plus 185 on DraftKings. I've got him to score. And Tyler Toffoli at plus 185 as well. So that's, two really good bets. I love Toffoli as well. And I'm riding Ryan Johansson again. He's maybe playing the best hockey that he's played as a Nashville Predator. And it does look like he's shooting the puck. He's playing on the top power play. They had him up centering that top line. I think they've changed back, and they got Granlund back there now. But Ryan Johansson is playing really well, and they got him plus 350. So I like him. Yeah, that'll be another one of my big bets. He's been playing really well.
Just to wrap up, Toffoli, Kadri, Yossi, those are kind of my 3 shot prop guys. I know Yossi's in a tough spot against the Flames. He didn't hit against the Oilers. The shot attempts were still there. He's one off. He's plus 100 for 3.5. Toffoli minus 133. I think Toffoli scores tonight, but minus 128 for a point. I like Andrew Mangiapane as well up on that top line, maybe to fill the net. He's a plus 165 for a goal. My one concern about Huberdeau is that he's averaging 16 minutes and 40 seconds per game. It's the lowest he's played since his sophomore season in 2013, 15 minutes he played that season per game. Last year, he played 19.25. So, Sutter's really rolling through some of those lines. So, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on from this game. I think the Flames do win. I kind of got a feel of the over, to be honest with you. But we'll continue to go. We got another Canadian team in action, and 2 more in action before maybe we say goodbye to Game Plus Network and we wrap up with the last couple of games and our thoughts with goals and things like that. So Coaster's Corner in the house. We got the Ottawa Senators at home and the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm just a sucker for Vegas, so I could be wrong. I'm a sucker for Vegas. EY's a sucker for Ottawa, so we'll fight it out here and we'll let the chat decide which way, to go here tonight in terms of picks. I already put it in the tracker late last night. Vegas Golden Knights at minus 135. I just like this Golden Knights team. I like the way they're playing hockey. Logan Thompson in net, Bruce Cassidy, a nice comeback win against Washington the other night. Had to sweat that one out. It was a 2-unit play for me for the Vegas Golden Knights, but I do like them on the road. That's right. Ryan Reynolds wants to buy the Senators. Sends to the moon. Did you see that? Good old Canadian boy wants to keep the Ottawa Senators in Canada as they're, I guess, officially up for sale. Yeah, good. Let's not have this team move to, no shots fired, but let's not have this team move to somewhere in the States where they're getting 700 fans.
I mean, they survived all this other stuff. They're getting the new arena. This team needs to be in Ottawa.
Yeah, of course. And the artist says, we've already decided it, Meaney. It's Drake. What's Coaster's Corner saying here? Have to leave early today. Just wanted to pass along Sen's morning skate info. Oh, here we go. Nice. Pinto getting the promotion. Kachuk, Pinto, Batherson first line. DeBrincat, Stützle, and Giroux second line. Am the artist. I'm on Batherson. Yeah, we're all on Batherson here on the show. We do like it. It's always the Drake. Always the Drake. Maybe not the Drake when it comes to Kenyon, but we like Drake Batherson. Drake Batherson's been shooting the puck quite a bit. And
dude, he's really good. He's looked unreal.
Yeah, he has. He's minus 106 for 2 shots tonight. We like the Drake tonight. We do like the Drake. I think Vegas wins. What do you think? You're on the Sens?
I mean, I'll say the Vegas has surprised me. I did not think that this team would be as good as they are. I think the 2 things I was mostly wrong on is one, Thompson, the goalie, like he's played lights out, like just played lights out. I mean, he could win Rookie of the Year. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, if he continues playing like this, there's no doubt. can he sustain it? He's never been a starting goalie in the NHL, so we'll see. And Jack Eichel looks like Jack Eichel again. I got him to score.
Oh, yeah.
I got DeBrincat to score. I got Batherson. And because of that heads-up play about Pinto playing up, like, we heard on Tuesday, someone else was talking about how good he was playing and how he needs to play more minutes. And he's right. I mean, Shane Pinto has looked unbelievable. He's playing on that top line with Batherson and DeBrincat. Yep, sign me up, man. Plus 320.
Yeah. I'm seeing you can get 325 over at Bet Rivers with DK plus 320. Yeah, Batherson 2.5 shots. DeBrincat, they didn't do a whole lot against Tampa. They didn't have a lot of shots, but they had the lead there for the majority of the game and let that one slip away. But Batherson and DeBrincat are the shooters. Yeah, Jack Eichel he's just on one, man. He's got goals in back-to-back games.
Yep.
He's not clearing 3.5 consistently, but like the other night, he was plus 157 for an assist. Like, how are you guys going to hang 157 for an assist on a guy like Jack Eichel? Tonight, he's plus 116 for an assist. I like Marchessault to score. I really like that second line tonight. I really like that. That Jack Eichel looks fantastic. I'm going to ride the Stevenson point train here. He's minus 139. Yeah, minus 139 for a point. He's picked up a point in 8 of his 11 games. So playing with Stone and playing with Eichel, I think it's a pretty good bet. He's getting some power play time there as well. But I do like that second line tonight quite a bit. Marchessault hasn't scored in the past couple games, but my goodness, it's not for a lack of trying. He had 6 shots in the last game. And then Riley Smith is a guy that's been clearing pretty consistently too. He's got at least 2 shots in every game, and he's cleared 2.5 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of his games. So I really like that second line. And also a guy who's kind of been picked up on waivers, and he had a down year last year, is William Karlsson. He's not a big volume shooter, but he does have points in 3 of his last 4 games, 2 goals over that span, and he's got 12 shots in those 4 games. So anyways, a lot to like from this contest. I like the Golden Knights. I like the Golden Knights to win the game. It seems like we like this game as a group. We do have to get out of here from Game Plus. We're gonna stick for the next 10 minutes or so, finish off the last couple of games, and call some goals and some shots. We'll wrap up with a lot, I'm sure. Like, the sheet is halfway. We're about to flip it over here.
All digital today, buddy. I ran out of paper. I got to find another. I can't write on a regular piece. I got to have the yellow pad. So there's
not enough paper in your house because you just call too many goals. I love it. Game Plus Network, appreciate you. FTNBets.com for the latest prop shop parlay calculator. This show is available on iTunes and Spotify if you want to hop on over and listen to the rest, and our FTN Network YouTube page as well. By all means, we do appreciate you. Smash the like button when you do. Good luck on the ice, and check out FTNBets.com for more. Dango Betzelli needs 2 hours, he says.
And then we go 3. So
yeah, and then we go 3. All right. Happy Tuesday, or happy Thursday, Game Plus Network. Go Birds. Okay, let's continue here. Let's continue. There's always like 2 or 3 plays after the show where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had more time to kind of get into that. Where are we at? I think there was one more Canadian matchup where our guy Fox had a nice fancy board for us. Yeah, it's the Canucks and Ducks. Let's do the Canucks and Ducks. Ducks were really good to us the other night. We talked a lot about Frank Vatrano. Yep. We just like this guy. We liked him in Florida, and he was just on a good team, and he couldn't find a way to get ice time. And then we liked him in New York. He was on the top 6 with the Rangers, shooting the puck, looked like he fit in there really well. And now he's just getting an opportunity with Anaheim. He is locked into a top 6 role. He's playing next to Trevor Zegras. He's averaging 17.49 per game EY. Last year with Florida, he averaged 12 minutes, and with the Rangers, he averaged 15. So he's on pace right now for a career season across the board. Ice time, power play time, shots. I don't know, maybe not goals. He's only got 4 here through 10. He has a 24-goal season under his belt. I like the Ducks tonight. I like them to win. I think the Canucks got a lot of issues going on. And if I'm looking for dogs here, plus money for Anaheim, I'm in. Quack, quack, Mr. Ducksworth.
Yeah, I like this Ducks team, and Vatrano is a big reason for that. I was telling people in the offseason to draft this guy. Before the season started, he was playing up the top line. He was playing the top power play. He's a shooter. He's a good player. He's feisty. Forechecks like a lunatic. And the Ducks, they need, they got these young kids and Zegras and Terry. And they need a guy like this that will go after every puck. And he's never seen a shot that he doesn't like. So, I mean, for us, for betting and fantasy purpose, this guy is a gold mine, and he's been really good all year. He's on DraftKings, he's plus 290. So I like him to score.
Me too.
I've got Troy Terry at 185, plus 185. And I'm not sure where else to go. Like, I always pick 2 Vancouver players. I think I probably
Pedersen's been pretty good
at plus 160. JT Miller, I feel like as a leader on this team, as a guy that was so good last year, if they're going to get right, they need JT Miller to be JT Miller again. So I like him to score here and push back. Someone who's been playing some important minutes for Vancouver that's gone kind of unheard of, and an old favorite player of mine. I've got one of his jerseys in the other room, and that's Connor Garland. He's been playing up. Last I looked, I don't know, they've kind of changed their lines there a lot, but I think it was Tuesday, he was playing on the top line. So he shoots the puck, man. He a little dude, but just he fires the puck. Was really cool story in Phoenix when he was there, kind of like this unheralded player, and just started shooting the lights out and scoring goals for them. Got paid, went over to Vancouver, has kind of been playing down the lineup, but they got him playing in a top 6 role. And at plus 280, I like him to score.
Nice. So Vetrano is now minus 128. I guess the plus money days are gone, but I think that's still a pretty good price for 3 shots. Troy Terry's at a similar price for 3 shots. Those are 2 guys for me. The Canucks guy that I like, and I see Adam saying Pedersen back down to minus 125 over 2.5. I like that too, Adam. I think that's a pretty good play. I called Bo Horvat for a goal. We had a little fun revenge thing for him when he played the Devils there. I know he was drafted by the Devils and traded for Corey Schneider. He had 2 goals in that game. He's got back-to-back games of 2 goals. He quietly has 8 goals in the season, EY. Bo Horvat.
Yeah.
Quietly 8 goals. He's got 11 shots in his last 2 games. He's minus 125 for 2 shots. And what does he just score a goal here tonight? He's plus 185. I don't really love that number. It's okay. But he's a guy that's playing really good, and he just plays a lot. Like, he plays in all situations. He takes a ton of faceoffs. He won 22 faceoffs the other day. He's an actual beast in those leagues we play in with faceoffs. He just wins you like 15 to 20 every single night.
Bruce Boudreau had an unbelievable press conference after he dropped 65 F-bombs in a minute and a half, talking about Bo Horvat. He's like, we won this game because of Bo Horvat. I mean, he whatever it was. What did you say? 22 of 26. Or whatever it was,
that. Yeah,
some insane number, right? I mean, you can say all you want, faceoffs don't matter, and this, that, and the other. They matter, man. They matter in the NHL, especially in the offensive zone. Having the puck and not having to chase it, it's how you dictate pace of play. So people that say it's not important are fools. I love having it as a category in a fantasy league. It's important, you know what I mean? And players that win them are good players. And Bo Horvat, for no doubt, is good, a good player. Grew up 15 minutes from where I grew up. I can remember, I was obviously done playing hockey. I'm older than him. But you would hear about this kid. There's this unbelievable kid. He plays in Chatham, Ontario, which is a place I was born. I grew up about 15, 20 minutes from there. And Bo Horvat has been on my radar. I'm not betting on him to score tonight, but because it's not really what he does, but he is an unbelievable player. And Connor, I'm telling you, Connor Garland, guys, top line, centering the second power play. I mean, if you get something like that at plus 280, I'm going to put Garland will be a big bet of mine today.
I like to call Troy minus 175 for a point, right? You're not taking this stuff as a single, but I'd be putting that into a parlay with some Edmonton and New Jersey stuff happening there. Plus 105 for a Vetrano point tonight is not too shabby either. Ducks win. Bo Horvat continues. I think he scores again tonight. What else do we have here? I think we've gone through most. Oh, this is a pretty good one. We have a board for this one too, Tyler. Boston, New York is probably the game of the night, actually. Edmonton and New Jersey, good one. But Boston, New York also a really good one. So we have the Bruins, who are 9-1 on the season. A nice comeback from it. 4 unanswered goals, 1 in overtime to beat the Penguins. And then the Rangers on home ice here, 6-3, 1-1. The Rangers are favored to win this game. And I put last night the Bruins at plus money, plus 110. They're plus 105. You get New York at minus 121. I'm just going to ride this out. I'm just going to ride this out with the Boston Bruins and the run that they are on. They just keep scoring, man, every single night. 6-4, 5-3, 4. The one loss they had, they scored 5 goals. They lost to the Sens. It was the second half of a back-to-back. Rangers are obviously a really good team. They're a really good team at home. Igor Shesterkin's going to be, a problem, but I am going to ride out the Boston Bruins. And yeah, I think, a question there, am the artist Mika or Chris? I think Kreider, because, he's probably going to be at 2.5, where Mika's been at 3.5 for a little bit. They've both been hitting. Kreider, it's a pretty good price, really, at minus 132 for Chris Kreider. And it's because it's the Bruins, right?
Yep.
But I think he gets there at 2.5 shots. And then another guy, like, I just noticed that when Marchand's been playing, Jake DeBrusk is just not shooting. And I get it. I mean, you have Marchand on the line. So Marchand's the shooter, and Bergeron's a bit of a shooter as well. But Marchand at plus 100 for an assist. You're going to get a lot of good value tonight in this game because they're two good teams, and I think Vegas is thinking that there's not going to be a lot of goals, but I wouldn't be shocked if this was like a 4-3 game here.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. Again, David Pastrnak has played unbelievable. He's definitely the shooter on that top line and the top power play. He's plus 125. If he gets plus odds, what am I doing? I'm betting on him to score. I definitely like him. I like Kreider again, plus 140. Jake DeBrusk, like you said, like he's definitely deferring to Marchand, but has had a really good start to the year and is playing important minutes for them and playing with some real confidence, man. I like to see it. He's plus 255 to score. And I got Capo Caco at plus 290, playing the top line, playing on that second power play for New York. This guy is a man. You know what I mean? He's as a young player, but is just everything you want in a young winger. The Rangers are a really dangerous team, man. I love watching this team play. I mean, Boston, no surprise. The Boston Bruins are really, really good again. Someone who's really stuck out to me there every time I watch Boston play is Pavel Zacha, a guy that, was playing like third line minutes, but was drafted highly, was highly thought of, is a big dude, and he seemed to really fit in well in Boston. I'm not betting on him to score tonight, but keep your eye on him. In fantasy leagues and DraftKings and stuff like that. He's played very, very well for Boston.
Kreider at plus 200 at FanDuel for 4 shots is not a bad play. As you guys know, these two teams are inside the top 10 in like eliminating shot attempts and shots, right? They're pretty stingy squads, but they both have a lot of firepower. So I wouldn't be shocked if we saw some goals and a lot of shots. Very similar to maybe the Pittsburgh and Boston game. Maybe we don't see 11 goals. We got better goaltending here with Igor in net, but the fact that we can get Marchand plus 100 for an assist, Bergeron plus 138 for an assist. I like those plays. Kreider 2.5 shots, Pasta 4.5 shots. I like Marchand at plus money for 3.5 shots, and even Mika at 3.5 shots is plus money as well. I think the Bruins win the game. Who do you think wins the game?
Man, it's so hard to bet against the Boston Bruins, man. They're so good. But I'm a Rangers guy. I mean, Rangers at home. I believe Shesterkin is going to play. And I want the Rangers to win because I'm tired of Boston winning. That's just the truth, guys.
Fair enough. Yeah, as a Habs guy, they can stop winning at any moment.
Habs guy and a Maple Leafs guy, there's no way I'm picking Boston to win. They very well could because they're one of the best teams in the league. It's no secret. But I think Rangers win tonight because they're at home and they got the advantage in goal.
Another good game, Carolina and Tampa Bay. I was really kicking myself. I talked about Kucherov scoring last game, and he scored a couple goals. Once he gets on a run, it's a significant run. Not that he had a slow start to the season because he was still getting points. Like he started off the season, he had a stretch where he had 3 games in a row with 2 assists, but now he's got goals in 4 straight games. He's got a point in every single game but one. This season, he's up to 15 points on the year. It should be a pretty fun game. Carolina and the Tampa Bay Lightning here. So we have the Lightning checking in as slight home favorites at minus 122, and you can get the Carolina Hurricanes. I do believe at plus, I thought I saw plus 110, plus 108 now. Bet Rivers. This should be a good one. I want to give more love to Martin Necas. Martin Necas is his just breakout season is absolutely here for this guy.
Yep.
He looks really, really good. Last year he averaged 16-11 per game. He averaged just over a minute per game on the power play. This year he's averaging almost 4 minutes per game on the power play in 1948. So that's almost 4 more minutes per game that this guy is getting this season compared to last, and 2 more minutes per game on the power play. And it's not second power play duty. It's first power play duty. He's got 5 goals and 13 points through 9 games. I really like Martin Necas, and I like Svechnikov. Like that's just a duo that is really playing great hockey to start the season. And then Stamkos, man, he just continues to get it done. Like every single game, Stamkos, I look and I'm like, do I want to take Stamkos 3.5 shots? It's not plus money anymore.
Yes.
And the answer is yes. 8 shots in his last game. He's got at least 5 shots in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games this season. Coming off a game where he played 23-37. Man, what a career. What a career for Stammer.
Yep. Yeah, I got Stamkos to score. Again, he's in the Pasternak and, that thing. Like, he's shooting. He's playing unreal. If you give me plus odds for him, I'm going to bet on him to score. I like Sebastian Aho at plus 170. Probably the most important player for the Hurricanes, a guy I love to watch play. I'm going after Brandon Hagel again, playing on that top line and playing power play time at plus 250. And you got to go a little ways down, which doesn't make any sense. But our boy, Martin Necas at plus 300, that's going to be my biggest bet of the day. Baby.
I like it. So we're on the same page.
And when I say biggest, like I don't put a lot of money on this. I'm not telling people that they should bet on goal scorers like I do. I'm just giving you a list of people that I think, look, guys, like I know I made a ton of bets on Tuesday, but I predicted 18 goal scorers in one night.
That's pretty good.
That's insane. Like that probably won't happen again for the rest of the season. But on Tuesday, I predicted 18 guys to score.
I think it might happen tonight. Necas minus 139 for a point, and Svechnikov minus 140 for a point. It is a tougher spot, of course. It's the Bolts after all, and Andre Vasilevsky. But these guys correlate as well, kind of like a same game parlay, like Nelson and Lee, like Hopkins and Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, like Caulfield and Suzuki. I mean, just these line mates, you can get plus money for these guys to hit the score sheet together. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, Stamkos at plus money. I'll take it. I know Tampa's really stingy, so I'm not going to get carried away here with certain things, but because both teams are pretty stingy, we're actually getting decent prices for some of these guys. I think Kucherov scores again. I'll go with Kucherov and Svechnikov as my goal scorers. You're getting Kucherov at plus 150, and you're getting him at decent price for 3 shots. Kucherov minus 143. Do we like that, guys? A bit of a pass first guy.
Still, though. I mean, he doesn't come off the ice. He's on the ice all the time, especially power play and top line. Like, I mean, could easily happen.
Back-to-back games with 4 shots. I like it. I think we've
got like 5 games left to talk about.
Oh my goodness. We do have to kind of wrap up. I got Mean Streets here a little bit. Okay, so we have Washington and Detroit. We have LA and Chicago, Dallas and Arizona, and then Florida and San Jose. Okay, so we got a little bit. Let's go Florida and San Jose. I put over 6.5 in the bet tracker. Man, Florida, right? Just classic Panthers going to Arizona and just disappoint, even though they had a ton of pucks on net and a ton of rubber. I'm here for 2 players, and one in particular is Erik Karlsson. What year is it? Is it 2015?
Right.
Because Erik Karlsson looks like it's
unreal.
2015. Brent Burns must have been slowing him down. He's got 9 goals and 15 points in 12 games. EY, he had 10 goals last season. 10 goals. He had 35 points. I mean, this guy is killing it. He's shooting 28%, which is ludicrous talk because he's only like 6% for his career. Adam checks in with which is a very interesting bet. Karlsson at 28-1 to win the Norris. He's down to 12-1 and 15-1 in other spots. I don't know, man. Like, it's not always going to be Cale Makar. And Yossi's off to a little bit of a slow start. I don't think that Karlsson's going to be able to continue this, but
I don't think so either, but
he looks healthy, and he is like before in the past on the power play, it'd be him and Burns. Sometimes just Burns and Carlson on the second unit.
He doesn't have to
but
defer.
Now it's just Carlson. Yeah, he just has the puck on his stick all the time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like the league is better when Eric Carlson is Eric Carlson. He has not looked like this in 2 or 3 years because of the crazy injury. Skating was always his thing. I mean, he busted his ankle really bad, like super serious. As a person who's broken their ankle, I can tell you it takes years. You mean like just years? Like I would think, oh, I'm finally over it, and I would just move the wrong way, and I would crumble in pain. Like it is a brutal injury. It's really hard to come back from, especially these guys, these professional athletes, skating. He looks like Eric Carlson. He doesn't look like Ottawa Senators, like all world Eric Carlson, but it's as close as he's looked in the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm here for it, man. The San Jose Sharks stink. They're not a good hockey team, but they had a bunch of good players. I think sprinkling a couple bucks on him to win the Norris could be fun.
At 28 to 1.
I like wasting money.
Like that.
I like it.
I like that 28 to 1 bet a lot, Adam. I'm going to get on that. Appreciate you, dude. Everyone's
good heads up,
here,
man.
right?
Everyone's so smart in here, man. Like I learned something almost every time we do a show. It's awesome.
Yeah. Carlson, 2.5 shots, minus 143. It's one of my favorite bets. I know it's juiced up, but that's going to be inside my top 5, right? He continues to play a lot. He's feeling it. This could be an up-tempo game with a lot of offense happening in this game. You know how Florida likes to push the pace. And the Sharks are kind of hanging around with teams, man. They beat the Leafs. They lost 3-4 to Tampa Bay. That game was really exciting the other night against the Ducks. There was 11 goals scored in that game. They lost 4-2 to Vegas, but they were very much in it. They've beaten the Rangers in New York this season. They've hung around with a lot of good teams, and Eric Carlson is a big reason why. He's got at least 3 shots in 5 straight games. He's got at least 5 shots in back-to-back or 3 straight games, rather. He's got 17 in his last 3 overall. And over those 3 games, he's got 6 goals, 9 points, 4 power play points, and 17 shots. The guy's just a freak right now. He's minus 134 for a point, minus 143 for 2.5 shots. Timo Meier, I mean, I'm going back to him. This guy is
playing with some confidence right now.
Man, he's a freak. He's getting 10 shot attempts a game, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's always been a shot guy, right? Like we've been saying this, like the value in a categories league and in a fantasy league, having him, like if you have him and a couple other kind of regular shooting players, like you win that category every single week. If he played with a couple better players and started to really roll, this guy could really threaten teams and be a really super dangerous player. They paid him as such a couple of years ago, and it hasn't really transpired, but it looks like it's starting to happen now. I don't imagine that his shooting percentage is very high, and I imagine it's due for some positive regression. Shooting the puck that much, it's just the law of averages. Eventually, this guy's going to get the puck to go. I'm betting on him to score tonight. Matthew Tkachuk has looked awesome. I'm betting on him to score tonight. Connor Verhaeghe to score. And who was my other? I had another interesting Sharks player. Thomas Hertl at plus 185.
I like goals in this game. I think we'll see the over. Myers plus 110 for 5 shots. He had 9 shots in his last game. He had 8 shots the other night against the Golden Knights. He's had at least 5 shots on goal in 5 straight games. He leads the NHL in shot attempts at all strengths, 114 shot attempts so far this season. Matthews is second with 99, and Pasternak is third with 96. Ovechkin's inside the top 5. Matthew Tkachuk is inside the top 5. Yossi tied with them as well. So all these guys, right? Like these volume shooters we all know and love. Matthew Tkachuk is juiced. Yeah, I mean, I think I saw a comment. I don't care if it's what was the comment? I think it was from Adam. Yeah, I love Carlson tonight. I'll pay minus 500 juice on Tkachuk over 3.5 shots. Have to keep betting it. Yeah, minus 145 you're getting. He's plus 165 for a 2-point night. I got burned the other night by Barkov. I think it was the right process. He did have the shot attempts. He still is a pass first guy. It's always have issues rolling with Barkov because he likes to pass it first, but he is plus 125 for 4 shots. He's minus 133 for an assist. I like the 2-point night here for Barkov. I think it correlates well for Barkov and Tkachuk. Last night we had Matthews and Marner for 2 points each. I think this could work out the same way. Plus 165 for Tkachuk for 2 points and plus 175 for Barkov for 2 points. But I think Tkachuk scores tonight. I like Timo Meier to score tonight. I like the Verhaeghe call. I'm always interested in Verhaeghe because he plays with Barkov, and he's like the best value, really, on the Panthers in terms of points. There was a shout out there, I think, to Brandon Montour. Montour is a great call.
Playing great.
Yeah, he's playing really good hockey, getting a lot of ice time, playing on that first power play unit. I never really see him anywhere, Dustin. So you're seeing him on Bodog? Yes, Bodog.
He's plus 600 to score. Do I do it?
I mean, I think you take a shot. I think you sprinkle 35-1 for the first goal of the evening. What's interesting with him actually is plus 280 for a power play point. I don't think that's too bad. I think he's got a couple power play points in the season. Yeah, he's got 2 power play points in the season. He had one the other night. He had 2 goals. He has 2 goals in his last 3 games. He's played at least 27 minutes in 4 straight games, and he has at least 5 shots in 3 straight games. I love the call. I'm just not seeing it anywhere. So for those who have Bodog, plus 130 for 3 shots for Brandon Montour is a pretty good bet. And he's plus money to hit the score sheet tonight, which I also think is a pretty good bet. Okay, we do have to get out. Dallas and Arizona to wrap up. I don't have much to say about this game. Life without Jake Ottinger is going to be out for a week. That definitely is a concern. We'll see them maybe tighten up. You've talked a lot about Tyler Seguin. I like Jason Robertson. Always Jason Robertson. I like him more at home. I really like that top line more at home. Pavelski and Rupe Hintz. Their splits are significant. But Jason Robertson, I mean, he's just picking up where he left off from last year. He's got 5 goals in the season. He's got goals in 3 straight games. He's got 10 shots in his last 2 games. I don't think we need to worry too much about the splits here in this contest because it's the Arizona Coyotes after all. So Robinson will be my guy tonight. I think he finds the back of the net again. I like the 2.5 shots. And I'll take some bets on him and this whole top line for assists. I'll let you go, and I'll try to find some assist numbers because I got a good feeling we'll probably get all of those guys for plus money to have an assist. And I think
Robertson is definitely in the category of like he gets plus odds. I'm going to bet on him to score. He's looked great, plus 120. Tyler Seguin is Tyler Seguin again, which I'm here for. He's a plus 210. And look, it's hard betting on the Arizona Coyotes to do anything, but Clayton Keller is, in my opinion, their best player. If someone's going to score, it's probably going to have to be him. So I like those odds for him. And like I said, I'm going back to Travis Boyd playing on that top line and top power play. Not a player that a lot of people know. And, I wouldn't say that he's a great player, but, he's playing a bunch of minutes. And I'd say, if you're playing a bunch of minutes with a bunch of good players, you very easily could score. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on him at plus 330.
I like it. So Pavelski's plus 135 for an assist, and Rupe Hintz is plus 130 for an assist, and Robertson's plus 120 for an assist. Somebody in that line is going to score. I think it's Robertson. And again, another thing that can correlate like a 3-leg same game parlay. Maybe all 3 of them to have a point, or like Robinson to have a goal and 3 shots, and then Pavelski and Hintz maybe potentially to have, a couple points. I think the sneaky goal scorer may be Mason Marchment. He's got 4 goals on the season, and I see the shout out there from Adam about Heiskanen. Yeah, he's a plus money for 3 shots. Is pretty solid as well. He's had at least 3 shots in 3 straight games and 5 of his past 6. He missed a couple games there, but he's back into the lineup. And then the final game of the night, I do believe this is the final one. The Kings and the Hawks. The Kings and the Hawks. Chicago's hanging around with teams, man. We talked about it on Tuesday. Nobody had scored more goals than them in the division. They're hanging around in games. They're scoring goals. They're getting contributions from Max Domi, Andre Athanasiou. I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to continue, but good for them. Good for Chicago. And the Kings, I think, are just so inconsistent so far to start the season. We did skip Detroit and Washington. No, they're not going to let us get out of here without getting every game, and I love you guys for it. So go ahead, take it away. LA and Chicago. You guys know what I like. Adrian Kempe. Velarde just continues to impress. And Kevin Fiala is starting to get into a bit of a groove, and you knew it was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I mean, Max Domi and Athanasiou are playing maybe the best hockey of their life, and it's cool to see going to a team that needs them to play and play important minutes. So I'm gonna pick both of them to score tonight, Max Domi and Athanasiou. Kevin Fiala looks like he's starting to turn back into Kevin Fiala, a guy that, a super gifted offensive player. He's at plus 170 on DraftKings. I like him to score. And Gabe Velarde, until he shows me that he's not shooting the lights out, I'm betting on him to score every night. Has been playing easily the best hockey of his life. Kind of a forgotten guy. They've got Kopitar and they've got, Arvidsson and Fiala and Kempe, and they got all these guys that everyone's been talking about. Nobody was talking about Gabe Velarde, and he has been playing unbelievable hockey for LA. He's on a heater right now, and until he's not, I'm betting on him to score. It's happening almost every game.
Yeah, it really has. Fiala's got points in 5 straight games and 8 over that span. He's got 2 goals over his last 3. He's at a pretty good price for 3 shots, guys. I know he hasn't been hitting. He's kind of been a pain in our ass when we picked him. He's minus 110 for 3 shots, but he's plus 126 for an assist. I think he probably hits a score sheet tonight. And Adrian Kempe is my guy all the time. He's cleared 2.5 shots in 3 of his last 4. I like for him to score. And a good Trevor Moore shout out. I think we talked about him last week as well. He's got back-to-back games with 4 shots. He's cleared 2.5 in 4 of his last 5 games. Gets a lot of ice time. So if you're looking for a plus money play there as well. And Adam says, Wings and Caps is a full pass for me. No need to discuss the game. Dustin agrees, but the artist is like, whoa. You skipped Detroit and Washington. I need help on Larkin point or shots, or do I take Ovi shots? Yeah, I don't like a lot from this game either, but Ovechkin, he's starting to heat up a bit. He's got 5 goals in the season. He's got 3 goals in his last 5 games, but he hasn't been shooting a lot. And I think it's because of his line mates. His line mates are no good, man. We can sit here all we want. We can talk about Dylan Strome and Connor Sheary and all these guys are in a good spot maybe to hit the score sheet, but until he's playing with Backstrom or he's playing with Kuznetsov every day, I'm not going to love his shot prop. Like 1-3, he does have the ability, of course, we all know that, to have, 4 or 5 shots in one game here. Detroit does allow a lot. They're inside the top 5 in shot attempts and shots, but minus 164 for 4 shots for Ovechkin is just not interested. It's not, I'm not doing it. Not doing it tonight. Do you have anything to add from that game?
I mean, he's plus the score, so I'm going on Ovechkin to score. Somebody that definitely wasn't on my radar, so he's probably not any of your radars, but he's playing left wing on the second line and playing on the second power play for Detroit. That's Elmer Soderberg. Soderblom.
Yeah.
Elmer Soderblom. He's plus 370 to score. I mean, he's playing a bunch of minutes. He's playing with some good players and playing power play time. That's a reach for sure, but I'm going to put a buck on it and see what happens.
Talk about a reach. Have you seen his reach? He's a massive dude. I think he's 6'6".
And is a good skater, right? And it looks like you can tell that he's tall. Everybody looks tall on skates. And then all of a sudden you see this guy, he looks like he's like a 1.5 feet taller than everybody else.
Yeah. I don't know. The artist really, Larkin is too inconsistent. I'd rather take a shot on a point, but it is going to be juiced up. If you really want to get involved and you're feeling like, you want to get a piece of this game, I don't know. He's minus 196 for a point. He's off to a good start. He's got 11 points, but he's just so inconsistent with the shots. 1-3, 0-1, 5-3, 6. Even Lucas Raymond, inconsistent, 0, then 7, then 0. Kubalik is now, playing on the third line. So, that was fun while it lasted. It looked like to me he should have stuck inside the top 6 and alongside those guys. There's just not a lot really I like from this game. I guess the one player I could talk about, no, he's on IR, was John Carlson. So
David Perron, I like too.
Yeah, it's another guy. He gets into these grooves where he's shooting so much and he scores, and then other times it's like, where's David Perron? But
non-existent.
Non-existent, but it could happen tonight. I mean, we've got doubled the show today. I think we've done 2 shows today, and maybe a third once we recap our picks.
Yep.
Adam says if you have to bet one thing, it's Perron under 2.5. Okay, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
All right. Buckle up, everybody. There's a couple here.
Maybe we're all here for it.
And we're starting out with the number one in your program, number one in our hearts. Kyle Connor, Cole Perfetti, Caulfield, Gallagher, Kane, Vander Kane, Nico Hischier, Zach Hyman, Igor Shergovich, Anders Lee, Vladimir Tarasenko, Matt Barzal, Jordan Kyrou, Kaprio Kaprizov, Matt Boldy, Jaden Schwartz, Matty Beniers, Nazem Kadri, Philip Forsberg, Tyler Toffoli, Ryan Johansson, Jack Eichel, Alex DeBrincat, Drake Batherson. Pinto, that's a big bet for me. I like him. Troy Terry, Frank Ficciano, David Pasternak, Chris Kreider, Jake DeBrusk, Capo Caco, Steven Stamkos, Sebastian Aho, Brandon Hagel, Marty Necas is another big bet for me. Alex Ovechkin, David Perron, Connor Sheary, Adam Ernie. That's right. You heard it here. Adam Ernie.
I like the Ernie call.
Timo Meyer, Matthew Tkachuk, Thomas Hurdle, Connor Verhaeghe, Jason Robertson, Tyler Sagan, Clayton Keller, Travis Boyd, Fiala, Velarde, Athanasio, Domi, Ovechkin, and finishing it up with our new boy, Elmer Soderblom. Good luck.
How could you not pick Mason Shaw? Out of all those, you left Mason Shaw off the board. Am the artist hasn't hung out with
Mason Shaw was not available. You told me. I went through on DraftKings, which is one of the only places I can bet on here in the beautiful state of Tennessee. Mason Shaw not on the docket so far.
Am the artist, his goal scorers are a segment itself. Jason Prince, love the list. The man does it again. Yeah, I'm the artist. I think you've missed the past couple shows, but every time we get together, there's like 10 or 12 games here, 13 today, and Eli's just been going ham. I think he gave 47 goal scorers this time last week, and I think he hit on 30 of them, and I'm not kidding at all. It was really fun to see the text roll in with like just the random players, like the pick that score. Like Hagel was a really good one, like Hagel exclamation mark. Let's go. Okay, so there is a lot that I like as well. I mean, look at this, guys.
Like,
like there's a lot going on.
You should be putting those in like a binder, like saving them.
I feel bad sometimes. Like I put everything in the bet tracker and there's 5 pages of stuff, and then I don't know if everyone gets confused about what I like. So I'll try to put 2 units on 2 units on my favorite one. So I'll do some shot props and I'll round out with a couple goals here and maybe some teams. I start with Cole Caulfield. I just kind of go in the list and try to circle. I circled guys that I really like. So Cole Caulfield 2.5. I like Kyle Connor 3.5 as well. I like Zach Hyman 3.5. Jack Hughes 3.5. Brock Nelson 2.5. Joel Eriksson Ek 2.5. Drake Batherson 2.5. DeBrincat 3.5. Vatrano 2.5. Probably one of my favorites. Vatrano and Toffoli would be in my top 5 with Caulfield. All 3 of those guys, 2.5 shots. Passa 4.5. Kreider 2.5. Erik Karlsson would be my top 5. Just playing so much, guys, and just really feeling it right now. 2.5 for him. Timo Meyer 4.5 plus money. Matthew Tkachuk 3.5. I got Kucherov 2.5. Jason Robertson 2.5. And I think that's it in terms of shot props. There's like obviously a lot of different ways you can go. For just straight up points, there's some guys I like to hit the score sheet tonight that I think are in pretty good prices, like Chandler Stevenson. Let's ride this out with him. Jesper Bratt is plus money for an assist. Jack Hughes is plus 125 for an assist. Zach Hyman is plus money. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is plus money for assist. So is Marchand and Bergeron. I do believe that line's going to hit the score sheet tonight. For points, same thing. Like all those guys that I just mentioned for assists, for points, like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, Hughes, Bratt, Bergeron. Bo Horvat, again, 2.5 shots. Here's the goal scorers for me. Jack Eichel scores tonight. I got Patrice Bergeron scoring tonight. Chris Kreider scoring tonight for the Minnesota Wild. Screw it. Mason Shaw, plus 460 for the Minnesota Wild. Brock Nelson for the Islanders. Vladimir Tarasenko for the St. Louis Blues. Here's some guitar. That was fun. Montreal, Cole Caulfield. No, I love it. Cole Caulfield and Kyle Connor breaks out. Adrian Kempe for Calgary. Tyler Toffoli and Andrew Mangiapane for New Jersey, Jack Hughes for Edmonton, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for the Dallas Stars, Jason Robertson, Frank Vaccano for the Anaheim Ducks, Bo Horvat again for Vancouver, Matthew Tkachuk and Timo Meier in the Florida and San Jose game. Over in Florida and San Jose, I like the Ducks on the road. I like the over in New Jersey and Edmonton, even if it's at 7, I like it. I think the Oilers do win that game. And I like the Flames in regulation. I like the Canadians as a dog here tonight, and I like the Minnesota Wild in regulation tonight on home ice. I like the Bruins as a dog in New York to take on the Rangers, and I like Vegas is probably one of my favorite picks. Vegas here, so wow, that was a lot in there. 2-point nights for Barkov and a 2-point night for Matthew Tkachuk. I don't know. Hopefully it didn't confuse you guys. Good luck. You guys are all over. You guys got your own picks, your own bets. Appreciate you guys hanging out for us for like an hour and a half. It was fantastic. We're going to say goodbye to everybody. iTunes, Spotify, please rate, review, subscribe, and good luck tonight on the ice. Hit us up if you guys have any questions at all. FTNBets.com for the latest. If you're looking for a package, use that promo code Meaney. Save yourself a little bit of cash. We're out of here. Have a good one. Cheers. Actually, I don't even know. It's Tyler. Tyler may not even be around to wrap up the show. Maybe we'll just hang out until Tyler's like, I'm gone. You guys have like,
you just did 2 shows. I got to go to school.
2 shows. He might have to go to school. He may not even be here. If anyone is here to wrap up the show, we'll just wrap it up. Actually, I'll close it down.
This is the greatest ending of all time.
Peace.